All right, to look at Parliament on this Wednesday morning, and one of the top priorities of the government is to quickly pass the new GST credit. It's expected to clear the House of Commons after a Conservative motion to fast-track the bill passed Monday. It comes as the government plans multiple by-elections to fill seats being left vacant by former MPs Bill Blair and Chrystia Freeland. I want to bring in CTV's political commentator, Scott Reid, for us this morning. Scott, good morning. Nice to see you.
Good morning, Maria.
Did you call me Maria?
I just called you Maria. Marcia, you call me Steve. I'll call you Maria. We'll get through this whole segment beautifully.
I've known you for 20 years. You've never called me Maria. I'll let it go.
No, it might have been a mistake.
It was a mistake. Okay. With the high cost of living impacting so many Canadians, will the fast tracking of this GST credit resonate with Canadians? Is it going to make a difference for them, Scott?
You know, some Canadians will feel it. I think lower income Canadians, first of all, you have to remember, really, we're only talking about families that are, give or take, below $75,000 in household income. So there'll be a noticeable impact for those lower income families. They will get a boost in that credit. I think that's why the Conservatives ultimately thought to themselves, well, why would we want to be against this? Their argument is, this affordability measure isn't going to do enough for enough people, but they didn't want to be seen as being opposed to it. And as a consequence, we're reminded that when the House of Commons stands unanimous, they can pencil whip just about anything through in lickety-split time.
Okay, that's going to be such good news for so many Canadians. Let's talk about the upcoming by-elections. We don't have dates yet, but we know that there are going to be at least two. Bill Blair is leaving his seat. Chrystia Freeland, she is also has also moved on. What are you watching for? The government just 2 seats shy of a majority government. Are these safe ridings? What do you think?
Well, I'm watching for more. I'm watching to see what other cards are going to be played, because even those announcements have in turn tipped over dominoes that are tumbling. So we know now that Nate Erskine-Smith, who holds a federal seat, has indicated he wants to take the vacated, he wants to run provincially because the Liberals are scooping up the provincial NDP leader. So that means there's going to be another potential by-election for a Toronto area Liberal. And let's not forget the Member of Parliament Conservative from Edmonton Riverbend, who was speculated as about to cross the floor, then sort of mysteriously said, you know what, I'm going to sit as an independent. You know what, I'm going to abstain from all votes, and has not been heard from since. So is he going to vacate his riding? Or is he reconsidering whether to cross the floor or to rejoin the Conservatives? So we don't know. So we could have a raft of by-elections. Those seats that are held already by the Liberals look like they're pretty safe, but nothing is an absolute lock these days, because you know, the polls show, as a matter of party preference, it's a virtual tie. So, you know, Scarborough is a pretty heavily contested area, even though it's in the GTA. So you can see the Conservatives being competitive there. Most people will bet that the Liberals will win back the Liberal ridings. But then it gets interesting when you think about a place like Edmonton. Behind the scenes, some Liberals muse that with a recent uptick in the polls, they could be competitive. That would be a big gain, both in terms of, you know, the majority standings in the House and in terms of encroaching into Conservative territory. But that's what people are buzzing about.
Just a quick thought then on when this could happen. Is it better to do it now, later? I mean, is there any real meaning to when these by-elections are held?
There's a lot of meaning to it, and we don't know everything that the Prime Minister and his team know. So some factors that may not be available to us might help them make that decision. Are they seriously double tracking and contemplating the possibility of having an election in spring? In which case, you don't call these too early, you wait until they could be rolled into that. Are you planning on vacating more ridings? And do you think there's a possibility of more floor crossers, in which case that's going to tip it? Because if you can get that majority working in Parliament without elections, then that's going to affect the timing. So, you know, we know that we're going to see them within 6 months. But, you know, when, how quickly, whether they move rapidly or whether they slow-foot it, that probably has a lot to do with super-duper palace intrigues that, at this point, remain unavailable to us.
Scott Reid for us. Thank you so much. For next time, Marcia.
Thank you, Marianne.